It was just another Tuesday afternoon, ordinary and unremarkable, when Jason's world shattered in an instant. Jason, a devoted manager at a mid-sized tech company, had been running on empty for weeks. Endless deadlines, relentless stress, and no time to breathe. When the chance came to take a longer lunch break, he grabbed it without hesitation, craving a moment of peace. Little did he know that simple decision would unravel everything he thought he knew about his life. Jason was a man of routines. Every day, like clockwork, he'd grab lunch at the same deli just steps from his office. But today felt different. Something pulled him away from habit. He found himself driving across town to a quaint cafe, one that held memories of simpler times back when he and Amanda, his wife, were young and in love. It had been years since they'd set foot there, but nostalgia tugged at him like a soft whisper. The moment he stepped inside, the warm aroma of freshly brewed coffee and pastries enveloped him, stirring a faint smile on his tired face. He chose a quiet corner by the window, ordered a sandwich, and opened his phone to catch up on emails. The gentle murmur of conversations floated around him, blending with the comforting sounds of clinking cups and soft jazz playing overhead. Outside the window, the world moved on, but Jason felt a rare stillness settle over him. Then, out of nowhere, he saw her. At first, disbelief clouded his mind. Amanda was supposed to be miles away working, yet there she was, walking hand in hand with another man, laughter spilling from her lips in a way Jason hadn't heard in years. They paused just outside the cafe, faces inches apart, sharing a closeness that froze Jason's blood. His heart thundered in his chest, each beat a painful echo of betrayal. Frozen in place, Jason watched as Amanda and the man slipped into a boutique. Across the street? For a fleeting moment, he fought the urge to dismiss it all as a mistake. Maybe it was nothing, a harmless misunderstanding. But the nagging doubt burrowed deep in his mind, relentless and sharp. Compelled by a mix of dread and desperate need for answers, Jason paid for his meal and stepped into the cool afternoon air. Keeping a careful distance, he followed them into the boutique. Amanda picked out clothes, twirling and smiling, as the man nodded approvingly. They looked like a perfect couple, lost in each other, blind to the world around them. Jason's chest tightened with every second, the reality settling in like a crushing weight. Eventually, they left and headed toward a nearby hotel. Watching them disappear through the entrance without a glance back, Jason felt hollow. The truth hit him like a tidal wave. His wife was having an affair, and he had unwittingly uncovered it during what was supposed to be a quiet lunch break. His mind spiraled, a storm of anger, confusion, heartbreak, and disbelief. But through the chaos emerged a cold clarity. He had to confront Amanda. Not here, not now. He needed a plan. That evening, Jason returned home, his heart heavy and his spirit bruised. Amanda greeted him with her usual warmth, a smile, a kiss on the cheek, but everything felt surreal, like stepping into a parallel universe where the surface gleamed but darkness churned underneath. "How was your day?" she asked, her voice light and easy. Jason forced a smile, the questions he longed to ask trapped behind clenched teeth. "It was fine," he answered, trying to steady his voice. Busy as usual, they settled into dinner, the conversation polite and shallow. Amanda seemed completely at ease, as if nothing had shifted. Jason marveled at her composure, wondering how she could pretend so effortlessly. In the days that followed, Jason oscillated between wanting to confront her immediately and gathering evidence to confirm his worst fears. He chose patience, watching closely for signs. Slowly they appeared. Late nights at the office, unexpected trips, hushed phone calls behind closed doors. Determined for the truth, Jason hired a private investigator. The waiting was agonizing, but he knew he needed undeniable proof before shattering their fragile reality. When the report finally arrived, his world crumbled further. Photos, timestamps, detailed notes revealed months of secret meetings with a man named David, stolen kisses, whispered promises, hidden getaways, evidence of a betrayal too deep to ignore. Jason spent a sleepless night poring over the proof, his emotions a tempest of pain, rage, and sorrow. The life he built had been a lie, and the woman he loved had shattered his trust. But beneath the heartbreak, a fierce resolve ignited. He knew what had to be done. The next morning, Jason sat Amanda down at their kitchen table. The exhaustion of the past weeks weighed heavily on him, but his voice was steady. "Amanda, we need to talk." Concern flickered in her eyes. "What's wrong?" He took a deep breath, sliding the investigator's report across the table. This Amanda's face drained of color as she flipped through the pages, hands trembling. Tears welled up. "Jason, I can explain." He raised a hand to stop her. "Don't. I've seen enough. I just want to know why." Her shoulders slumped, eyes fixed on her hands. "I don't know," she whispered. "I never meant to hurt you. It just happened." Jason's heart ached, but he stayed firm. "I trusted you. We built a life together. How could you throw it all away?" Tears streamed down her face, but no answers came. The silence was deafening. The days that followed blurred together in a haze of anguish. Jason moved out, unable to stay in a house that had become a prison of shattered dreams. He filed for divorce, understanding that the trust between them was broken beyond repair. Amanda reached out repeatedly, begging for forgiveness, but Jason knew it was over. The love they once shared had been poisoned by betrayal, and there was no turning back. Slowly, Jason began to rebuild himself, throwing himself into work, leaning on friends and family, rediscovering who he was beyond the shadow of marriage. He tried new hobbies, explored new places, and allowed himself to heal. One afternoon, while wandering through a sunlit park, Jason saw a family playing together. Their laughter ringing through the air, the warmth of their smile stirring something deep inside him. For the first time in months, a fragile hope blossomed. Hope that despite the pain, life would go on. Hope that someday happiness might find him again. With that hope lighting his way, Jason took his first steps toward a new beginning, leaving the past behind and embracing the promise of an unknown yet brighter future. His journey was marked by heartbreak and betrayal, but also by resilience and rediscovery. He had faced his darkest hours and emerged ready to reclaim his life, ready to find joy once